The Ghostly Scribe of Ancient Alexandria, Part 1. Welcome to Alexandria's starlit shores, folks.
Welcome back to After Dark History, where we dive into the shadows of the past to uncover tales that glow like embers in a hearth. Perfect.
For winding down and drifting into dreamland, tonight we're stepping into the sun-soaked, star-dusted world of ancient Alexandria in 200 BC, a city where the Nile whispers secrets, and the night hums with stories older than the pyramids. If you're new here, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss a single tale. Drop a comment below. Tell me where you're tuning in from, what time it is, and maybe your favorite ancient civilization or historical figure. I see you, USA, Europe, Australia, and beyond, joining us for this magical ride. Grab a cozy blanket, maybe a mug of chamomile tea, a hot cocoa, or even a cold brew if you're feeling fancy. Dim the lights, feel the warmth of a desert night, and let's wander into the heart of Alexandria, where the air smells of salt and papyrus. The stars are practically begging to tell their story. Picture Alexandria under the Ptolemaic dynasty, a dazzling jewel where the Nile River kisses the Mediterranean Sea. It's 200 BCE. This city is the beating heart of the ancient world, a place where cultures collide like waves on the shore. The streets are a riot of life. Traders hawk spices from India, their voices sharp as the scent of saffron. Philosophers in togas argue over Plato and Pythagoras, their wine cups sloshing under palm-shaded stalls. And sailors from Greece and Persia swap tales of sea monsters over dice games by the docks. The air is warm, thick with the tang of salt, the sweetness of figs, and the faint dust of desert winds rolling in from the south. At night, the city glows under a sky so clear it feels like you could reach up and pluck a star, each one winking like it knows something you don't. Looming over the harbor is the Lighthouse of Pharos, one of the seven wonders, its beacon fire, blazing like a second sun, guiding ships through the dark. Its marble tower gleams under moonlight, casting a golden path across the waves. A reminder that Alexandria is a city of light, literal and metaphorical. The streets wind through markets where linen sails flap like wings, past temples where priests chant to Ra and Isis, their voices mingling with the lapping of the Nile. Donkey carts rattle over cobblestones and children chase each other through alleys, their laughter bright as the copper coins they clutch. It's a city that never sleeps, yet at night it softens, the bustle fading to a gentle hum, like a lullaby sung by the sea. At the heart of this vibrant chaos stands the great library of Alexandria, a sprawling marvel of marble and mystery. Imagine a labyrinth of towering columns carved with lotus flowers and hieroglyphs, courtyards shaded by swaying palms, and shelves upon shelves stuffed with scrolls from every corner of the known world: Greece, Persia, India, Ethiopia, and lands. So far, they're just whispers on the wind. The library isn't just a building. It's a living thing, its air thick with the scent of aged papyrus and olive oil from flickering lamps. Scribes bustle through its halls, their sandals whispering on polished floors, while scholars pore over texts, their murmurs blending with the rustle of scrolls. It's a place where ideas dance like fireflies, where knowledge feels alive. Pulsing like the heartbeat of the city itself, our hero is Amara, a young scribe who's more than just ink and papyrus. She's got eyes like polished obsidian, sharp and deep, reflecting the stars she loves to watch. Her hands are stained with ink, calloused from endless hours of writing. Her dark hair woven into braids that catch the lamplight like threads of night. Amara's not your typical scholar. She's got a fire in her soul, a hunger for stories that burns brighter than the Pharos' beacon. By day, she works in the library's scriptorium, her quill scratching out tales of gods like Osiris and heroes like Achilles, her fingers moving with the precision of a weaver at a loom. Stroke of her quill feels like a prayer, a way to capture the past and make it sing. But Amara's true love is the night. When her work is done, she climbs to her rooftop, a simple mud brick perch overlooking the city. The desert air is warm, wrapping her like a shawl, carrying the faint scent of jasmine from a neighbor's garden. She lies back on a woven mat, her cloak tucked under her head, and gazes at the constellations Orion, Sirius, the great river of stars that the Egyptians call the celestial Nile. They seem to pulse. Their light soft but insistent, like a message written in a code she can't yet crack. Amara's always felt this pull, this longing she can't name, like a song stuck in her heart with no lyrics. It's as if the stars are calling her, whispering her name across the vastness of the night, urging her to find something bigger, something hidden in the library's shadows. The gods of Alexandria are watching, too, and they're a lively bunch, like a divine council meeting that's one bad decision away from a cosmic food fight. There's Anubis, the jackal-headed god of the afterlife, prowling the city's edges, its eyes glinting like coins in a tomb, guarding the boundary between life and death. Thoth, the ibis-headed god of wisdom and writing, perches in the libraries. Rafters, his beak sharp as a quill, hoarding knowledge like a dragon with gold. And Sekhmet, the lioness goddess of war and healing, stalks the night, her roar shaking the sands, her pursuing the weary. These gods keep Alexandria's magic alive, but they bicker like merchants over the last pomegranate, each claiming credit for the city's brilliance. Their presence hums in the air, reminder that this is a place where the mortal and divine brush shoulders. Amara's dreams are filled with their voices, though she doesn't know it yet. As she lies on her rooftop, the stars seem to lean closer, their light-weaving patterns that tug at her soul. The lighthouse's beam sweeps across the harbor, a golden arc that feels like a promise. The city below hums softly, its sound waves lapping a distant flute, the creak of a cart blending into a lullaby. Amara's eyelids grow heavy, her heart full of questions. What are the stars trying to tell her? What secrets lie hidden in the library's endless shelves? She drifts towards sleep, the desert night cradling her, unaware that tomorrow a single scroll will change everything. This is just the beginning, folks. Amara's about to stumble into a mystery that'll light up the night like the Pharos itself. Stick with us for part 2, where the library's shadows start to whisper. If you're loving this, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and let me know in the comments what ancient city would you visit. Sleep tight and we'll see you under the stars. The Ghostly Scribe of Ancient Alexandria, Part 2, The Library's Whispering Shadows. Hey folks, welcome back to After Dark History, where we're weaving cozy tales from the past that wrap you up like a warm shawl, perfect for drifting off under the stars. We're back in ancient Alexandria, 200 BCE, where the Nile hums secrets and the great library glows with stories waiting to be told. If you missed Part 1, we met Amara, our ink-stained scribe with a heart full of dreams, chasing whispers from the stars. If you're new here, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell to join the adventure. Drop a comment where are you watching from? What's the vibe tonight? And what ancient mystery gets your heart racing? I see you, USA, Europe, Australia, and beyond, cozying up for this starry ride. Grab your favorite blanket, maybe a cup of mint tea or a chilled lemonade, and let's step back into the Library of Alexandria, where the air smells of papyrus and the shadows are starting to talk. Dim the lights, feel the desert breeze, and let's get lost in the magic. Amara's days are a rhythm of ink and papyrus in the library's scriptorium, a vast room where sunlight spills through high windows, painting the marble floors in golden patches. The great library is a marvel, its walls carved with lotus flowers and ibis motifs, its ceilings soaring like the sky over the Sahara. Shelves tower to the heavens, groaning under the weight of scrolls, tales of Greek heroes, Persian star charts, Indian epics, and Egyptian hymns, all crammed together like a cosmic book club. The air is thick with the scent of aged papyrus, olive oil from flickering lamps, and the faint temps of dust kicked up by bustling scribes. Their sandals whisper across the floor, soft shuffle that blends with the scratch of quills and the murmurs of scholars debating in shaded courtyards. It's a place where knowledge breathes, where every scroll feels like a doorway to another world. Amara's station is a simple wooden table, cluttered with inkwells, reed pens, and scraps of papyrus, her hands stained black and blue from days of copying, move with the grace of a dancer. Each stroke of her quill capturing the deeds of gods like Osiris or philosophers like Socrates. She's not just copying words, she's weaving stories, her fingers tracing the pulse of history. Her braids, dark as a raven's wing, catch the lamplight, and her obsidian eyes flicker with a quiet fire, a hunger for something more than the daily grind. The other scribes tease her for it, calling her stargazer for her habit of sneaking to the library's rooftop at night. But Amara doesn't mind. She knows the stars have a story to tell, and she's determined to hear it. By day, the library is a hive of activity. Scribes hunch over their desks, their quills scratching like crickets in a field. Scholars from Athens and Memphis argue over geometry or the meaning of dreams, their voices rising and falling like waves on the Nile. Traders slip in, delivering scrolls from distant lands, their cloaks dusted with desert sand. Amara watches it all, her heart soaking up the chaos like a sponge. She loves the library's energy, its endless chatter of ideas. But it's the quiet moments that call to her most, when the sun dips low and the halls grow still, and the shadows seem to lean in, whispering secrets only she can hear. Tonight the pull is stronger than ever. The moon hangs full over Alexandria, its light pouring through the library's windows like molten silver, casting long shadows that dance across the marble. Most scribes have left, their tables empty, their lamps snuffed out. Amara lingers, her fingers lingering on a scroll of Homeric hymns, her mind elsewhere. The stars outside pulse, their light filtering through the courtyard poems. And she feels that familiar ache, that longing like a half-remembered dream. She's supposed to be tidying her station, but the library feels different tonight, alive, almost as if it's watching her. The air hums faintly, a vibration she feels in her bones. Like the gods themselves are stirring. She wanders deeper into the stacks, her sandals soft on the cool marble, her breath catching the scent of wax and myrrh. The shelves loom like silent sentinels, their scrolls rolled tight, each one a mystery waiting to be unfurled. Amara's fingers trail along the wood, her touchlight almost reverent. She's always believed the library holds more than knowledge stories. Magic, truths buried like treasure in the desert. As she rounds a corner, her hand brushes a carved panel, its lotus design worn smooth by centuries. A soft click echoes, sharp in the silence, and the panel shifts, revealing a hidden nook, dark as a tomb. Amara's heart leaps, her breath catching. Like a sail in a storm, inside the nook, tucked in a bed of dust, lies a scroll unlike any she's seen. It's bound in black linen, tied with a cord that shimmers faintly, like moonlight caught in thread. A wax seal, shaped like an anktha. Egyptian symbol of life gleams in the dim light, its surface pulsing with a soft, silvery glow. Amara's fingers tremble as she reaches for it, the air growing heavy, the lamps flickering as if nervous. The scroll feels warm, alive, its glow painting her hands in starlight. This isn't just a scroll, it's a secret, a whisper from the past, maybe from the gods themselves. Her pulse races like a chariot in the hippodrome. Should she open it? Break the seal? The library holds its breath, and the shadows lean closer, waiting. We're just getting started, folks. Amara's found something that could change everything. A scroll that glows with secrets. What's it hiding, and why does it call to her? Stick with us for part 3, where the past starts to speak. If you're loving this, give it a thumbs up. Share it with a friend, and drop a comment. What would you do with a glowing scroll? Sleep tight, and we'll see you under the stars. The Ghostly Scribe of Ancient Alexandria, Part 3, The Scroll of the Forgotten Pharaoh. Hey folks. Welcome back to After Dark History. We're spinning tales from the past that wrap you up like a warm desert breeze, perfect for drifting off into dreamland. We're deep in ancient Alexandria, 200 BCE, where the great library hums with secrets and the stars whisper stories older than the Nile itself. If you missed parts 1 and 2, our hero Amara, a starry-eyed scribe, has found a glowing scroll hidden in the library's shadows, pulsing with mystery. If you're new here, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell to join the adventure. Drop a comment. Where are you tuning in from? What's the vibe tonight, and what ancient secret would you chase? I see you, USA, Europe, Australia, and beyond, cozying up for this mythic ride. Grab a plush blanket, maybe a cup of chamomile, tea, or a cool glass of hibiscus juice, and let's slip back into the library where the air smells of papyrus and magic. Dim the lights, feel the moonlight's glow, and let's unravel a pharaoh's forgotten tale. Amara's heart thumps like the drums at an Alexandria festival, her fingers trembling as she crouches in a quiet alcove, the glowing scroll cradled. In her lap, library's marble walls loom around her lotus carvings catching the flicker of a single oil lamp, its flame dancing like a nervous spirit. The air is heavy with the scent of aged papyrus wax, and a faint whiff of myrrh drifting from a nearby shrine to Thoth. The scroll, bound in black linen and sealed with an ankh-shaped wax stamp, pulses with a silvery light, like moonlight trapped. In ink, it's warm to the touch, alive, as if it's whispering her name. The library is silent now, save for the distant lap of waves against the harbor and the soft rustle of palm fronds in the courtyard. Amara's obsidian eyes gleam with a mix of fear and excitement. She knows this scroll is no ordinary find. It's a secret, a doorway to something ancient, maybe divine. She hesitates, her ink-stained fingers hovering over the ankh seal. The library feels like it's holding its breath, the shadows stretching longer, the air growing thicker, as if the gods themselves are watching. Amara takes a deep breath, the scent of papyrus grounding her, and breaks the seal with a soft snap. The black linen falls away, and the scroll unfurls, its hieroglyphs shimmering like stars on a desert night. The script is old, older than the Ptolemaic scribes, older than Alexandria itself. It tells of Nepharo, a pharaoh, whose name was erased from history by jealous priests, his legacy buried like treasure under the sands. His story is wild, woven with magic, a ritual to bind his soul to the constellations, meant to guide Egypt through eternity, ensuring wisdom would flow like the Nile. But something went wrong. Horribly wrong, trapping Neferu's spirit in the library. His voice a whisper in the dark, lost to time. As Amara reads, the hieroglyphs seem to move, their lines curling like smoke, forming images in her mind. A pharaoh crowned with starlight, a temple glowing under a full moon, priests chanting as a ritual fire burns. Her pulse races, her breath catching like a sail in a storm. The scroll's glow brightens, painting the alcove in silver, and the air grows heavy, the lamps flame, flickering as if startled. A voice low, warm, like the desert wind, across the dunes cuts through the silence. Amara, it says, you found me. She freezes, her fingers gripping the scroll, her heart pounding like a war drum. The shadows shift and a figure materializes, not solid, but a shimmer of starlight, like a reflection in the Nile. It's Neferu, not a ghost, but a presence woven from light. His eyes kind yet weary, his crown a faint halo of stars, his linen robes rippling as if caught in an unseen breeze. Who are you? Amara whispers, her voice barely louder than the rustle of papyrus. The library seems to lean in, its walls humming faintly, the air tingling with magic. Neferu's form flickers like a dying flame, his voice soft but resonant, carrying the weight of centuries. I am a king forgotten, he says, bound to this place by a ritual that failed. My soul was meant to join the stars, to guide my people forever, but betrayal trapped me here in the shadows of knowledge. His eyes meet hers, and Amara feels a chill, not of fear but of purpose, like the stars themselves are speaking through him. Only a scribe with a dreamer's heart can free me, he continues, his voice a lullaby woven with sorrow. The scroll holds a ritual to release my soul, but it lies in the library's hidden halls, where secrets guard themselves. Amara's mind spins like a chariot wheel, her thoughts a tangle of awe and fear. Free a pharaoh's soul? In the great library's depths? She's just a scribe, her days spent copying hymns, her nights dreaming of stories. But her heart, that fire in her soul, blazes brighter now, fueled by Neferu's words. She nods, her braids swaying, her fingers tightening on the scroll. "I'll do it," she says, her voice steady despite the tremor in her hands. "I'll find the halls, perform the ritual." Neferu's smile is faint, like starlight through clouds, but it warms the alcove. "You have courage, Amara," he says, "but the path is perilous. The gods guard their truths fiercely." His form begins to fade, the scrolls glow dimming, leaving Amara alone with its weight in her hands. The library grows still, but the air feels charged, like the moment before a storm. Amara clutches the scroll, her heart a drumbeat, her eyes darting to the shadows. The hieroglyphs pulse once more, as if urging her forward. She knows this is no ordinary night, something ancient has stirred, and she's part of it now. The hidden halls of the library wait, their secrets locked behind. Marble and magic. What lies within? And what God's will she face? The moonlight spills through a window, painting her path in silver. And Amara takes her first step into the unknown. That's where we pause, folks. Amara's holding a scroll that could rewrite history, and a pharaoh's spirit is counting on her. What's next in the library's depths? Stick with us for part 4, where the gods start to stir. If you're loving this, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and drop a comment. What would you do with a pharaoh's secret? Sleep tight, and we'll see you under the stars. The Ghostly Scribe of Ancient Alexandria, Part 4. The Gods of Alexandria stir. Hey, folks.
Welcome back to After Dark History, where we're spinning tales from the past that wrap you up like a soft desert breeze, perfect for drifting off under
a starlit sky. We're back in ancient Alexandria, 200 BCE, where the great library hums with secrets and the night pulses with magic. If you missed part 3, our hero, Amara, a starry-eyed scribe, just unrolled a glowing scroll and met Neferu, forgotten pharaoh trapped in the library's shadows, begging her to free his soul. If you're new here, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell to join the adventure. Drop a comment. Where are you tuning in from? What's the vibe tonight? And which ancient god would you want to meet? I see you, USA, Europe, Australia, and beyond. Cozying up for this mythic ride. Grab a fluffy blanket, maybe a mug of warm milk, or a cool glass of pomegranate juice, and let's slip deeper into the library, where the air smells of myrrh and mystery. Dim the lights, feel the moonlight's glow, and let's follow Amara into the unknown. Amara stands in the alcove, the glowing scroll still warm in her hands, its hieroglyphs fading but their weight lingering in her heart. Neferu's words echo. Like a distant hymn, only a scribe with a dreamer's heart can free me. Her pulse races, steady as the Nile's flow, her obsidian eyes gleaming with resolve. The library at night is a different beast, its marble halls stretching like a labyrinth under moonlight that spills through high arched windows. The air is thick with the scent of aged papyrus, olive oil from flickering lamps, and a faint trace of jasmine drifting from the courtyard gardens. Shadows twist across the walls, their shapes shifting jackals, ibises, lionesses, if the gods themselves are pacing, watching her every move. Amara clutches the scroll, her sandals whispering on the cool marble, each step a vow to chase. This story to its end, the library's halls feel alive, their silence heavy, broken only by the soft creak of wooden shelves and the distant lapping of waves against Alexandria's harbor. Amara's cloak, woven with simple linen threads, brushes her ankles, its hem catching the moonlight like a faint silver glow. She's no stranger to these halls. She's spent years copying scrolls, her fingers stained with the ink of 1,000 tales, but tonight, they feel foreign, vast, as if the library is unfolding new paths just for her. The scroll's glow dims, but its warmth guides her, a beacon in the dark. She moves deeper, past rows of scrolls stacked like silent sentinels, their titles glinting. In Greek, Egyptian, and languages she can't name, the air hums faintly, a vibration that tingles in her bones. Like the chant of priests in a temple at dawn, her heart thumps like the beat of a festival drum. Amara's fire her dreamers. heart burns brighter than her fear. Nefru said the ritual to free his soul lies in the library's hidden halls. But where are they? The scroll offers no map, only a promise of peril. She rounds a corner, and the air shifts, growing cooler, sharper, as if the library is exhaling. A warning. Shadow moves too swift to be natural, and Amara freezes, her breath catching like a sail in a sudden gust. The lamps flicker, their flames dipping low, casting the hall in a dance of light and dark. A figure emerges, tall and lean, its silhouette sharp against the marble. It's Thoth, the ibis-headed god of wisdom and writing, his beak gleaming like polished obsidian, his eyes burning with the bronze glow of a scholar's lamp. You meddle with dangerous truths. Scribe, Thoth says, his voice cutting through the silence like a quill through papyrus. His feathered cloak rustles, the sound like a breeze through reeds, and his staff, topped with an ankh, glints in the moonlight. Amara's knees tremble, but she stands tall, her ink-stained fingers tightening on the scroll. I'm not meddling, she says, her voice steady, despite the flutter in her chest. I'm setting a story for Nefru's story. Thoth's beak twitches, almost a smile, his eyes narrowing as if weighing her soul. Knowledge isn't free, he warns, stepping closer, his shadow pooling like ink on the floor. Library guards its secrets, and the gods guard the library. What makes you think you're worthy? Amara's heart races, but her dreamer's fire flares. She thinks of the stars, their whispers on her rooftop, the pull that led her to the scroll. I'm a scribe, she says, her voice rising like a tide. Stories are my trade, and Nefru's is trapped. The gods value truth, they'll let me try. Thoth's eyes gleam, a flicker of respect in their bronze depths. He steps aside, his staff tapping the marble with a soft clink, but his voice follows her, low and sharp. Beware Sekhmet's fire, dreamer, the path ahead burns. The hall darkens, the lamps dimming as if bowing to his words. And Amara feels a chill, not of cold, but of destiny. Settling over her like a cloak, the shadows shift again, curling like smoke, and the air grows heavier, tinged with the scent of myrrh and something sharper, like iron or blood. Amara takes a step forward, her sandals echoing in the vastness, the scroll a warm weight against her chest. The library feels like a living thing now, its walls pulsing with secrets, its halls stretching into the unknown. Thoth's warning rings in her ears. Sekhmet, the lioness goddess, waits somewhere ahead. Her fire attests Amara may not pass. The moonlight through the windows casts silver paths, but they twist and fork, leading deeper into the labyrinth. Way to the hidden halls. And what other gods are stirring in the dark? That's where we pause, folks. Amara is facing Thoth and a library full of secrets, with Sekhmet's fire looming. What's next in this starry quest? Stick with us for part 5, where the heat rises. If you're loving this, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and drop a comment. Which Egyptian god would you face? Sleep tight, and we'll see you under the stars. The Ghostly Scribe of Ancient Alexandria, Part 5, Sekhmet's Fiery Challenge. Hey folks, welcome back to After Dark History, where we're weaving tales from the past that wrap you up like a warm desert wind, perfect for drifting off into a starry slumber. We're deep in ancient Alexandria, 200 BCE, where the great library pulses with secrets and the night hums with divine whispers. If you missed Part 4, our hero, Amara, a dreamer with ink-stained hands, faced Thoth's warning and stepped into the library's hidden halls to free the forgotten pharaoh Nefru. If you're new here, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell to join the adventure. Drop a comment. Where are you tuning in from? What's the vibe tonight? And which ancient goddess would you dare to face? I see you, USA, Europe, Australia, and beyond, cozying up for this mythic ride. Grab a soft blanket, maybe a cup of spiced tea, or a cool glass of Carcade, and let's plunge deeper into the library, where the air smells of myrrh and danger. Dim the lights, feel the heat of the night, and let's face the fire of Sekhmet. Amara moves through the library's labyrinthine halls, her sandals whispering on the cool marble, the glowing scroll clutched tight against her chest. The air grows, warmer with each step, heavy with the scent of myrrh and something sharper. Like sun-baked sand or molten iron, moonlight spills through high windows, casting silver patterns on the walls, where lotus carvings seem to shimmer as if alive. The shelves loom like silent guardians, their scrolls rolled tight, their secrets locked in papyrus and ink. Amara's cloak brushes her ankles, its linen threads catching the faint glow of the scroll, which pulses softly like a heartbeat guiding her deeper. The library feels alive tonight, its halls stretching into shadows that twist and curl, forming shapes, jackals, ibises, and now, faintly, the outline of a lioness stalking the dark. Her heart thumps like the drums of a Nile festival. But Amara's dreamer's fire burns brighter than her fear. Thoth's warning, beware Sekhmet's fire, echoes in her mind, a riddle wrapped in a threat. She's no warrior, just a scribe who weaves stories with her quill. But Neferu's plea fuels her steps. The scroll's hieroglyphs now dim, told of a ritual to free his soul, hidden in the library's deepest chambers. The air grows hotter, the marble walls radiating heat like a midday desert, and Amar's breath catches, her skin prickling with sweat. The lamps along the hall flicker, wildly their flames dancing as if bowing to an unseen presence. The shadows thicken, pooling like ink, and a low growl rumbles through the stone, shaking the shelves and sending a scroll tumbling to the floor. Amara freezes, her fingers tightening on the scroll, its glow flaring as if in warning. The growl grows louder, a sound that could scatter armies. And a figure steps into the moonlight Sekhmet, the lioness goddess of war and healing. Her form is radiant, her fur golden as the sun, her eyes burning like twin fires, her claws scraping the marble with sparks. Her linen robes shimmer with crimson threads, and her breath is a wave of heat, carrying the scent of blood and desert blooms. Why disturb the past, Scribe? Sekhmet growls, her voice a rumble that vibrates in Amara's chest, like thunder rolling over the Sahara. The goddess paces, her tail lashing, her presence filling the hall like a storm. Amara's knees tremble. Her mouth dry as papyrus dust, but she holds her ground. Her obsidian eyes meeting Sekhmet's fiery gaze. I'm here for Neferu, Amara says, her voice steady, despite the heat pressing against her. His soul's trapped, bound by a ritual gone wrong. Sekhmet's eyes narrow, her claws flexing. But there's a flicker of something softer, her healing nature, perhaps beneath the fire. The past is a flame, Scribe, she says, her voice softening to a purr, warm yet dangerous. It burns those who touch it. Prove your heart, and I'll guide you. She steps aside, revealing a narrow passage where the air shimmers with heat, leading to a chamber where a pool of water glows under the moonlight, its surface mirroring the stars like a celestial map. Amara's heart races, but she follows, her sandals echoing in the tight passage, the scroll's glow lighting her way. The chamber opens before her, its walls carved with hieroglyphs that pulse faintly, telling tales of pharaohs and gods. At its center, the pool reflects the night sky, its waters rippling as if stirred by an unseen hand. Sekhmet stands by the pool, her eyes fixed on Amara. The ritual needs a drop of your blood, she says, her voice a blend of fire and balm. Vow to truth, to bind your heart to Neferu's. Are you ready? Amara's hand trembles, her fingers brushing the scroll, its warmth a reminder of her promise. She pulls a small reed knife from her belt, its blade glinting in the starlight, pricks her finger, wincing as a crimson drop falls into the pool. The water flares, glowing with a soft auroral light. And Neferu's voice whispers, stronger now, like a breeze across the Nile. You're close, Amara. The hieroglyphs on the walls pulse brighter, their shapes dancing like flames, and the air hums with magic. Sekhmet's purr rumbles almost approving, but her eyes glint with warning. You've passed my test, Scribe, she says, but the library's heart lies deeper, and Anubis waits. The chamber trembles, the pool's light flickering. and Amara feels a new weight settle over her, a sense that the gods are closing in, their eyes sharp as stars. What lies in the library's deepest chamber? Can Amara face the jackal-headed god of the dead? That's where we pause, folks. Amara's faced Sekhmet's fire and offered her blood, but Anubis is waiting. What's next in this starry quest? Stick with us for part 6, where the shadows grow darker. If you're loving this, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and drop a comment. What would you offer a goddess like Sekhmet? Sleep tight, and we'll see you under the stars. The Ghostly Scribe of Ancient Alexandria, Part 6. Anubis in the Glowing Chamber. Hey, folks. Welcome back to After Dark History, where we're spinning tales from the past that wrap you up like a warm Nile breeze, perfect for drifting off under. A starry sky, or deep in ancient Alexandria, 200 BCE, where the great library hums with secrets and the night pulses with divine magic. If you missed part 5, our hero Amara faced Sekhmet's fiery challenge, offering a drop of her blood to advance the ritual to free the forgotten pharaoh Nepharo. If you're new here, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell to join the adventure. Drop a comment, where are you tuning in from? What's the vibe tonight? And which ancient god would you face in a shadowy chamber? I see you, USA, Europe, Australia, and beyond, cozying up for this mythic ride. Grab a plush blanket, maybe a mug of honeyed tea, or a cool glass of tamarind juice. And let's plunge into the library's deepest heart, where the air smells of dust and destiny. Dim the lights, feel the glow of starlight, let's meet the god of the dead. Amara steps into the library's deepest chamber, her sandals echoing softly on the marble floor, the glowing scroll a warm weight against her chest. The air is cool now, a stark contrast to Sekhmet's heat. Heavy with the scent of ancient stone and a faint musky tang, like earth after a desert rain. The chamber is vast, its walls carved with hieroglyphs that pulse faintly, like embers in a dying fire, telling tales of pharaohs, gods, and the afterlife. Moonlight filters through a high skylight, casting a silver glow that dances on the floor, where shadows twist into shapes, scarabs, and jackals. The scroll's glow flares, its hieroglyphs shimmering as if alive, guiding Amara forward. Her heart beats like a temple drum, steady but quick, her obsidian eyes wide with awe and a flicker of fear. She's no warrior, just a scribe with a dreamer's heart. But Nephru's plea and her own fire push her deeper into the unknown. The chamber feels like a tomb, yet alive, its walls humming with a quiet power that tingles in her bones. Shelves line the edges, their scrolls older than any she's seen, their linen wrappings frayed as if untouched since the pyramids rose. A faint breeze stirs, carrying whispers, names, prayers, fragments of forgotten stories that curl around her like smoke. Mara's cloak brushes her ankles, its linen threads catching the moonlight, and her ink-stained fingers tighten on the scroll, its warmth a reminder of her promise. Sekhmet's words Anubis waits echo in her mind, a warning wrapped in a purr. The air grows heavier, the hieroglyphs pulsing brighter, and a shadow moves, sharp and deliberate, pooling like ink across the chamber's center. Amara freezes, her breath catching like a papyrus sheet in a gust. The shadow solidifies, and Anubis, the jackal-headed god of the afterlife, steps into the moonlight. His form is tall, his fur black as the void, his eyes glinting like polished coins in a tomb. His linen kilt shimmers with golden threads, and his anktop staff gleams, its metal cold as death. His presence is a weight, like the silence before a storm, his voice a low rumble, like stones shifting in the desert. The dead do not leave easily, Scribe, he says, his eyes locking onto hers, piercing through her dreamer's fire. You seek to free Nephru, but what do you offer in return? The hieroglyphs flare, their light casting Anubis's shadow. Across the walls, a towering jackal that seems to guard the chamber's heart. Amara's hands tremble, her fingers brushing the scroll, its glow dimming as if nervous. She's no priestess, no queen, just a scribe who weaves stories with her quill. But stories are her strength, her offering to the gods. She takes a breath, the air cool and musky, and begins to recite Nephru's tale, her voice steady, like the Nile's flow. He was a pharaoh betrayed, she says, her words weaving through the chamber. his soul bound to the stars, his name erased by envy. He dreamed of guiding Egypt, but priests stole his light, trapping him here. Her voice rises, soft, but clear, a lullaby of truth that fills the silence. She tells of Neferu's ritual, his crown of starlight, his hope to shine forever. Her words painting visions of temples and skies that dance in the glowing hieroglyphs. Anubis listens, his ears twitching, his eyes softening from coins to embers. The chamber hums, the hieroglyphs pulsing in rhythm with Amara's voice, as if the library itself is listening. Neferu's form flickers into view, stronger now, his starlit silhouette glowing beside her, his crown brighter, his smile grateful. "You've given me voice, Amara," he whispers, his words a breeze that stirs the chamber's dust. The scroll begins to dissolve, its hieroglyphs rising like fireflies, swirling toward the skylight, joining the constellations above. Anubis's staff taps the marble, a soft clink that echoes like a heartbeat, and he nods, his voice warmer now. "Like earth after rain. You honor the dead, Scribe," he says. "Your story is a worthy offering, but the ritual is not complete." The chamber trembles, the hieroglyphs flaring brighter, and Amara feels a new weight, a sense that the library's magic is shifting. The scroll is nearly gone, its last specks of light dancing in the air, but Neferu's form holds, his eyes fixed on her. "One final step remains," he says, his voice a whisper of hope and warning. The air grows tense, the shadows stirring, as if another god is near. Anubis's eyes glint, his jackal head tilting toward the chamber's exit. "The library's heart is restless," he says. "Tread carefully, dreamer." Mara's heart races, her fingers empty now, the scroll's light fading into the stars. What final test awaits? And who else is watching from the shadows? That's where we pause, folks. Amara's faced Anubis and offered her story, but the library's heart is stirring. What's the final step to free Neferu? Stick with us for part 7, where the gods clash. If you're loving this, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend. And drop a comment, what story would you tell Anubis? Sleep tight, and we'll see you under the stars. The Ghostly Scribe of Ancient Alexandria, Part 7, The Gods' Divine Squabble. Hey folks. Welcome back to After Dark History, where we're spinning tales from the past that wrap you up like a warm desert breeze. Perfect for drifting off under a starlit sky. We're deep in ancient Alexandria, 200 BCE, where the great library pulses with secrets and the night hums with divine drama. If you missed part 6, our hero Amara faced Anubis in a glowing chamber, offering Neferu's story to advance the ritual. To free his trapped soul, if you're new here, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell to join the adventure. Drop a comment, where are you tuning in from? What's the vibe tonight? In which ancient god's argument would you love to overhear? See you USA, Europe, Australia, and beyond, cozying up for this mythic ride. Grab a soft blanket maybe, a mug of spiced chai, or a cool glass of rose water. And let's dive back into the library, where the air smells of myrrh and godly chaos. Dim the lights, feel the starlight's glow. Let's witness a divine squabble. Amara stands in the library's deepest chamber, her heart pounding like a festival drum. The scroll's last specks of starlight swirling upward through the skylight. Neferu's form glows beside her, his starlit silhouette stronger now, his crown a radiant halo, his eyes brimming with gratitude. The chamber's walls, carved with pulsing hieroglyphs, hum with a quiet power, their light casting shadows that dance like spirits across the marble. The air is cool, tinged with the musky scent of ancient stone and a faint trace of Anubis's earthy presence. Like soil after a Nile flood, Mara's cloak sways in a gentle breeze, its linen threads catching the moonlight, her ink-stained fingers. Empty now, the scroll dissolved into the stars. Anubis's jackal eyes glint, his staff's ank gleaming. But before he can speak, a roar shakes the chamber, as fierce as a desert storm. Sekhmet storms in, her lioness form radiating heat, her golden fur shimmering like the midday sun, her eyes blazing like twin fires. Her crimson-threaded robes swirl, and her claws scrape the marble, sparking like flint. "You freed him, Scribe, but the library remembers," she bellows, her voice a thunderclap that rattles the shelves, sending a scroll tumbling like a frightened bird. Hieroglyphs flare, their light pulsing wildly as if the library itself is caught in her wrath. Amara's knees tremble, her breath catching like a sail in a gust, but her dreamer's heart holds firm. Before she can respond, Thoth glides in, his ibis beak clicking, his feathered cloak rustling like reeds by the Nile. "Calm yourself." Sekhmet, he chuckles, his bronze eyes gleaming with amusement. She's jealous, her war stories get all the scrolls, and now a scribe's stealing her spotlight. The chamber crackles with tension, the air thick with myrrh, iron, and the electric hum of divine egos. Anubis steps forward, his jackal head tilting, his voice a low rumble, like stones grinding in a tomb. The scribe has honored the dead, he says, his eyes fixed on Amara, but the ritual demands balance. Sekhmet snarls, her tail lashing, her heat pressing against Amara like a furnace. This mortal dares to meddle with eternity, she roars, her claws flexing. The past is mine to guard. Thoth's beak twitches, almost a smirk. Just soar because her story outshines your battles, he teases, his staff tapping the floor, its ank glinting like a star. Amara, caught in a godly argument, feels like a child between squabbling merchants, her heart racing, but her resolve unwavering. She steps forward, raising her candle lit for courage, its myrcented flame steady in the chaos. "Enough," she says, her voice cutting through the divine din like the lighthouse's beam through fog. "I'm here for Neferu, not your squabbles. His soul deserves peace." The gods freeze, their eyes turning to her Sekhmet's fire, Thoth's bronze, Anubis's coins, struck by her nerve. The hieroglyphs pulse in rhythm with her words, the chamber's hum softening, as if the library approves. Neferu's form glows brighter, his starlit silhouette shimmering, his voice a whisper of wind. "You speak truth, Amara." The scroll's last specks rise faster, joining the constellations through the skylight, and the chamber feels lighter, as if a weight has lifted. Sekhmet's growl softens to a purr, her eyes narrowing, but her heat easing like a fire banked. "For the night." "You've got courage, Scribe," she says, her voice warm now, like a healer's balm. "Perhaps you're worthy." Thoth nods, his beak clicking approvingly. "A dreamer's heart, indeed," he murmurs. Anubis's staff taps the marble, its sound a heartbeat in the silence. "The ritual is nearly complete," he says, his eyes softening. "You've honored the dead, Scribe. One final step remains." Amara's heart leaps, her fingers tingling where the scroll once rested. The chamber's glow pulses, the hieroglyphs dancing like flames. But a faint tremor runs through the marble, as if the library itself is restless. Neferu's form holds his crown a beacon, but his eyes flicker with urgency. The library's heart stirs, he whispers, his voice a breeze that chills Amara's skin. "Finish this, before the gods change their minds." The air grows tense, the shadows curling like smoke, hinting at another presence watching from the dark. Sekhmet's tail twitches, Thoth's eyes dart to the chamber's exit. And Anubis's ears prick as if sensing something beyond Amara's. Breath catches her candle's flame flickering. What final step awaits? And what's making the gods so nervous? The moonlight through the skylight dims, casting the chamber in a twilight glow. And Amara feels destiny closing in like a tide. Where we pause, folks. Amara stood up to a godly squabble, but the library's restless, and one last test looms. What's stirring in the shadows? Stick with us for part 8, where the night grows darker. If you're loving this, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and drop a comment. What would you say to a room full of gods? Sleep tight, and we'll see you under the stars. The Ghostly Scribe of Ancient Alexandria, Part 8, A Quiet Return to the Scriptorium. Hey folks, welcome back to After Dark History, where we're weaving tales from the past that cradle you like a soft Nile breeze, perfect for drifting off under a starry sky. We're deep in ancient Alexandria, 200 BCE, where the great library hums with secrets and the night glows with divine magic. If you missed Part 7, our hero Amara stood up to a godly squabble. Sekhmet, Thoth, and Anubis clashing. Like cosmic merchants pushing forward the ritual to free the forgotten pharaoh Neferu, If you're new here, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell to join the adventure. Drop a comment. Where are you tuning in from? What's the vibe tonight? And what ancient place would you want to rest in after a divine encounter? I see you, USA, Europe, Australia, and beyond, cozying up for this mythic ride at 7:45 p.m. PKT on July 4th, 2025. Grab a plush blanket, maybe a mug of warm chamomile, or a cool glass of date juice, and let's slip back into the library where the air smells of myrrh and peace. Dim the lights, feel the moonlight's glow, and let's follow Amara home. Amara stands in the library's deepest chamber, her heart still racing like a festival drum. The last specks of Neferu's scrolls swirling like fireflies toward the skylight, joining the constellations above. The hieroglyph-carved walls pulse faintly, their glows softening, as if the library itself is exhaling after the gods' fiery clash. The air is cool now, tinged with the musky scent of ancient stone and a faint trace of Sekhmet's heat, like embers fading in a hearth. Neferu's starlit form lingers, his crown a radiant halo, his eyes brimming with gratitude. "You've given me hope, Amara," he whispers, his voice a breeze that stirs the chamber's dust, sending it dancing in the moonlight. Nubis, the jackal-headed god, stands nearby, his coin-like eyes softening, his anktop staff glinting. In the dim light, "Rest now, Scribe," he says, his voice a low rumble, like earth settling after a quake. "You've honored the dead." The chamber feels lighter, as if a weight has lifted, but a faint tremor hums through the marble, a reminder that the library's heart is still restless. Amara's cloak sways, its linen threads catching the silver glow of the skylight, her ink-stained fingers empty, but tingling with the scroll's lingering warmth. Anubis gestures toward a shadowed passage, his paws silent on the marble, his presence steady, like a guide through the underworld. "Come," he says, his voice a soothing balm. The scriptorium waits. Amara nods, her legs heavy, but her dreamer's heart steady, fueled by Neferu's faint smile and the stars above. She follows, her sandals whispering on the cool stone. The passage winding through the library's labyrinth, its walls lined with scrolls that seem to watch her pass. The journey back feels like a dream. The library's halls softer now, their shadows less sharp, their silence warm. Like a lullaby sung by the Nile, moonlight spills through high windows, painting the marble in silver streaks. The air carries the scent of papyrus, myrrh, and a faint sweetness from the courtyard's jasmine vines. Amara's candle, still lit for courage, flickers gently, its myrrh-scented flame casting a warm glow that dances on the walls, where lotus carvings seem to nod in approval. Nubis moves beside her, his steps silent, his jackal ears twitching. At sounds only he can hear, perhaps the library's whispers, or the gods still murmuring in the dark. "The library remembers," he says, his voice low, almost tender. "Your story has stirred it, Scribe." Mara's heart skips, her mind racing. Has she done enough? Or is another test waiting? The passage opens to the familiar scriptorium, its wooden tables cluttered with inkwells, red pens, and scraps of papyrus, bathed in the soft glow of moonlight through arched windows. The room feels like home, its air thick with the comforting scent of ink and wood, the faint hum of the library's magic settling like dust. Amara collapses at her desk, her candle flickering as she sets it down, its flame reflecting in her obsidian eyes. She's exhausted, her braids loose, her hands trembling, but her heart is full, glowing like the scroll's lost light. The stars outside blaze through the window, brighter now, as if cheering her courage. Neferu's form fades, his whisper lingering. "One final step, Amara." The words chill her, a reminder that the ritual isn't complete, that the library's heart still stirs. She leans back, her cloak pulling around her, and lets the scriptorium's quiet cradle her. The distant lap of waves against Alexandria's harbor mingles with the rustle of palm fronds, a soothing symphony that lulls her toward sleep. Her dreams are vivid, filled with Neferu's starlit crown, the god's fiery eyes, and the library's endless shelves, each scroll a story waiting to be told. The air hums softly, the shadows lighter, as if the library is pleased, its whispers quieter, like a tale finally shared. But a faint pulse runs through the marble, a tremor that tugs at Amara's dreamer's heart. Is it the gods watching still, or something deeper, hidden in the stacks? Her candle flickers, its mercent curling like a promise, and Amara drifts. Towards sleep, the stars outside singing her name. The library feels different now, its magic softer, its halls a sanctuary rather than a labyrinth. Amara's eyelids grow heavy, her breath slowing, the weight of her journey settling like sand in an hourglass. The moonlight paints her desk in silver, the inkwells glinting like tiny stars, and she dreams of Neferu, his silhouette a constellation, his voice a whisper of thanks. But the tremor persists, a subtle hum that hints at one last secret. What final step awaits? And why does the library feel so alive even in its quiet? The stars outside pulse, their light a lullaby urging Amara to rest, but not for long. That's where we pause, folks. Amara is back in the scriptorium, but the library's restless, and one last step looms. What's stirring in the stacks? Stick with us for part 9, where a new gift appears. If you're loving this, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and drop a comment. What would you dream of in Amara's place? Sleep tight, and we'll see you under the stars. The Ghostly Scribe of Ancient Alexandria, Part 9, The Starlit Quills, Legacy. Hey, folks. Welcome back to After Dark History, where we're weaving tales from the past that cradle you like a warm Nile breeze, perfect for drifting off under a starry sky. We're deep in ancient Alexandria, 200 BCE, where the great library hums with secrets and the night glows with divine magic. If you missed Part 8, our hero Amara returned to the scriptorium, guided by Anubis, her heart heavy with the weight of Neferu's ritual nearly complete. If you're new here, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell to join the adventure. Drop a comment where you're tuning in from. What's the vibe tonight? And what ancient story would you want to write? I see you, USA, Europe, Australia, and beyond, cozying up for this mythic ride. Grab a plush blanket, maybe a mug of cinnamon, tea, or a cool glass of fig juice, and let's return to the library, where the air smells of ink and destiny. Dim the lights, feel the starlight's glow, and let's see what gift awaits Amara. Morning breaks over Alexandria, the Nile glittering like a ribbon of gold under a sky painted with dawn's pinks and oranges. The city stirs, its streets buzzing, with traders hawking saffron and linen, their voices sharp as the scent of fresh bread from market stalls. The lighthouse of Pharos gleams, its beacon fading as sunlight takes over, casting a warm glow over the harbor's lapping waves. Amara wakes at her desk in the scriptorium, her cheek pressed against a scrap of papyrus, her ink-stained fingers curled around a reed pen. The room is bathed in soft light, streaming through arched windows, where dust motes dance like tiny stars. The air smells of aged papyrus, olive oil from snuffed-out lamps, the faint sweetness from jasmine vines curling outside. Her cloak pools around her, its linen threads catching the dawn, and her braids loosened from sleep spill over her shoulders like dark rivers. She blinks, her obsidian eyes heavy but bright, her heart still humming with the echoes of last night's divine clash. The scriptorium feels different, calmer, as if the library has settled after its restless tremors. Her candle, burned low, releases a final wisp of myrrh-scented smoke, its flame long gone. But something new catches her eye. A quill lying on her desk, its tip gleaming like starlight, its shaft carved with tiny inks that shimmer faintly. Amara's breath catches, her fingers trembling as she reaches for it. The quill feels warm, alive, tingling with the same magic as the scroll, now dissolved into the stars. She knows without words that this is a gift from Neferu, the gods, or the library itself, tool to carry her story forward. Amara dips the quill in ink, its flow smooth as the Nile, and begins to write Neferu's tale. Her hand moves faster than ever, the words pouring like a desert spring. Nefer's betrayed reign, starlit ritual, his soul trapped in the library's shadows. The hieroglyphs she saw in the chamber dance in her mind, their shapes guiding her quill, each stroke a prayer to truth. The scriptorium hums, its wooden tables vibrating faintly, as if the library approves. Other scribes arrive, their sandals shuffling, their voices a soft murmur, but they pause, drawn to Amara's work. "What's this?" one asks, peering. Over her shoulder, his eyes wide at the glowing ink. "A pharaoh's tale," Amara says, her voice steady, her dreamer's heart blazing. Nepharo erased but not forgotten. Story spreads like wildfire through the library. Scribes copy her scroll, their quills scratching in a frenzy, their whispers carrying Neferu's name like a chant. Scholars gather, their togas rustling, their eyes alight with wonder as they read of a pharaoh lost to history. Neferu, they murmur, his name echoing through the marble halls, a melody that reaches the courtyard's palm trees. Amara's heart swells, her fingers tingling with the quill's magic, but she feels a new calling. She begins crafting. Candles, blending wax with myrrh and a touch of moonlight's essence. How? She doesn't know, but the quill guides her. Each candle glows faintly like the scroll once did, their light soothing the library's bustling scribes, their scent calming the chaos of the day. Traders catch wind of the tale, their carts rattling as they carry Amara's scroll beyond Alexandria's walls. Ships sail from the harbor, their sails snapping, bearing Nepharo's story to Rome, Greece, and distant lands where stars shine differently. In the markets, poets recite her words, their voices blending with the cries of fishmongers and the laughter of children. Amara becomes a quiet hero, her ink-stained hands a beacon for dreamers. The library's shelves hum, its scrolls seeming to nod, as if Neferu's legacy has woven itself into their fibers. The lighthouse burns brighter, its beams sweeping the sea as if celebrating the return of a lost king. But as evening falls, the stars blazing over Alexandria, Mara feels a faint tremor in the scriptorium's floor, a whisper of the library's restless heart. She sets her quill down, its starlit tip glinting, and gazes out the window, where the constellations pulse like they did on her rooftop. Neferu's voice echoes in her dreams, faint but clear. "One final step, Amara." Her heart skips what? Step remains. The candles flicker, their myrrh scent curling like a question, and the library's hum grows stronger, as if hiding one last secret. Is it the gods watching still, or something deeper woven into the city's soul? The stars sing, their light a lullaby, but Amara knows her journey isn't over. That's where we pause, folks. Amara's quill has sparked a legacy, but the library's stirring again? What's the final step? Stick with us for part 10, where the tale shines bright. If you're loving this, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and drop a comment. What legacy would you leave in Alexandria? Sleep tight, and we'll see you under the stars. The Ghostly Scribe of Ancient Alexandria, Part 10, A Tale for the Ages. Hey folks, welcome back to After Dark History, where we're weaving tales from the past that cradle you like a soft Nile breeze. Perfect for drifting off under a starry sky. It's 7:50 p.m. PKT on July 4th, 2025, and we're in ancient Alexandria, 200 BCE. For the grand finale of our saga, if you missed part 9, our hero Amara woke to a starlit quill, wrote Neferu's tale, speds, and sparked a legacy that's spreading like wildfire. If you're new here, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell to join the adventure. Drop a comment, where are you tuning in from? What's the vibe tonight? And what ancient tale would you want to carry forward? I see you, USA, Europe, Australia, and beyond, cozying up for this mythic ride. Grab a plush blanket, maybe a mug of warm honey tea, or a cool glass of lotus-infused water. And let's return to the library, where the air smells of myrrh and eternity. Dim the lights, feel the starlight's glow, and let's see how Amara's story shines. Evening falls over. Alexandria, the Nile shimmering like a silver thread under a sky ablaze with stars. The city hums with life. Traders barter spices in the markets, their voices mingling with the clatter of donkey carts. Poets recite verses by torchlight, their words dancing like fireflies. And the lighthouse of Pharos burns bright, its beam sweeping the harbor like a celestial guide. In the great library, Amara sits at her scriptorium desk. her starlit quill glinting, its ink-carved shaft warm in her ink-stained hands. The room glows softly, bathed in moonlight through arched windows. Where jasmine vines curl, their scent blending with the familiar temps of papyrus and wax. Her candles crafted with myrrh and a touch of moonlight's magic line the desk, their flames flickering like tiny stars, casting a warm glow that soothes the bustling scribes around her. Amara's heart is full, her dreamer's fire burning. Steady, fueled by Nefru's tale now woven into the library's soul. Her scroll, copied by scribes across the hall, has become a sensation, its words whispered in awe. Nefaro, the pharaoh erased, now remembered. Scholars gather, their togas rustling, their eyes bright as they debate his story, their voices echoing through the marble corridors. The hieroglyphs on the walls, once pulsing with restless energy, now glow softly, as if the library itself approves, its shelves humming like a choir of ancient voices. Amara's candles, their myrrh scent curling through the air, draw scribes and visitors alike, their light a beacon for dreamers, seeking solace in the chaos of knowledge. Word of Nefru's tale spreads beyond the library's walls, carried by traders on carts rattling with amphorae, their wheels creaking as they roll toward Alexandria's gates. Ships sail from the harbor, their sails snapping in the Mediterranean breeze, bearing scrolls to Rome, Athens, and distant lands where the stars shine differently. God's children clutch papyrus scraps, chanting Nefru's name like a song while poets weave his story into epics, their voices rising over the cries of fishmongers. Amara's candles become legend, their glow guiding sailors home, their scent calming weary travelers. Temples burn them in honor of Thoth, Sekhmet, and Anubis, the gods who tested her, their flames a quiet nod to her courage. The lighthouse seems to burn brighter, its beam sweeping the sea as if celebrating Nefru's return to history. Amara, now the library's keeper of tales, works under the stars, her quill dancing across papyrus, each stroke a tribute to the forgotten. Her braids catch the moonlight, her obsidian eyes reflecting the candle's glow. Her heart light as a lotus petal on the Nile. She dreams of Nefru, the starlit crown a constellation now, his voice a whisper of thanks that lingers in the night. The library feels alive, its marble warm, its scrolls whispering as if sharing her story with the ages. Scribes call her stargazer still, but now with reverence, their quills pausing to watch her work. Traders bring her wax and herbs, their smiles wide, knowing her candles light the way for dreamers across the Mediterranean. But as night deepens, stars pulsing over Alexandria, a faint hum runs through the scriptorium's floor, a final echo. Of the library's restless heart, Mara pauses, her quill hovering, her candles flickering, as if stirred by an unseen breeze. The gods' voices, Thoth's wit, Sekhmet's fire, Anubis's gravity seem to linger, their presence a quiet blessing. You've done it, Amara, Neferis whisper hums, faint as a desert wind, but stories never end. Her heart skips as there more to tell. The library's hum softens, its walls glowing like a hearth, and Amara smiles. Knowing her quill will carry new tales, her candles lighting paths for others. The stars outside sing their light a lullaby, weaving her into Alexandria's eternal tapestry. This tale's for you, whether you're in New York, London, or Sydney, curled up with a spark of wonder. The Library of Alexandria waits in your dreams, its scrolls whispering truths only you can hear. Picture the warm desert air, the glow of myrrh-scented candles, the lighthouse guiding you home. Let Amara's courage inspire you, her quill a reminder that stories live forever. Sleep now, dear ones, under the stars that watched Alexandria. Their light soft as a scribe's whisper, warm as a candle's glow. This is the end of our saga, but the library's doors are always open. Thanks for joining After Dark History for this 10-part journey. If you loved it, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and comment what ancient tale should we tell next. Sweet dreams, and we'll see you under the stars.